Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are tackling a huge question. When it comes to building wealth, what's the right path? Is it a slow, patient game of compounding, or is it more of a battle, one that's won by the bold and the audacious? So how are we going to figure this out? Well, we're going to look at three incredible, real-world examples, three people who each found their own, very different answer to this exact question.
First up, you've got this janitor, right? A totally humble guy who, and get this, nobody knew, was quietly building an $8 million fortune. And then, on the complete other end of the spectrum, we've got this modern-day Machiavellian prince. A ruthless strategist who sees money not as money, but as pure power and control. And our final character? A super clever cowboy who found a third way. A way to turn bad debt into a massive fortune. By, wait for it, making everyone else richer too. All right, so where does all this start? It really boils down to your mindset. How you think about money, your core philosophy, completely dictates how you build your wealth.
So on one hand, you've got the patient creator. For this person, wealth is something you earn by creating value for other people. It's a slow and steady build, brick by brick, through consistency and service. But then you have the bold commander. For them, wealth isn't earned, it's taken. It's a direct result of just audacity, of imposing your will on the world.
And man, this Machiavelli quote just nails that second mindset, doesn't it? He's not saying you should get lucky. He's saying you need to be bold. You have to grab fortune by the horns, because waiting around for it to favor you, that's a surefire way to lose. Okay, philosophy is great, but how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's break down the two actual playbooks that come from these mindsets. All right, path number one. This is the disciplined, slow and steady route. You know the drill. Build up that safety net, that emergency fund. Then you attack all that high-interest debt, because that stuff is an absolute killer. After that, it's all about consistency. You invest a set amount, regularly, into things like low-cost, diversified funds. The real secret sauce here, it's time. You just let the magic of compounding do all the heavy lifting for you. Now, path number two. This is a whole different beast. This is the strategic operator's game. First, you find what's called your Machiavellian skill, that one thing you do that gives you incredible leverage. Then, and this part's kind of brutal, you curate your circle. You cut ties with people who drain you and get as close as you can to powerful people. Finally, you use your money not as a cushion, but as a weapon. You deploy it aggressively to just force things to grow fast. And right here, this is the great divide. This shows you the fundamental clash between the two mindsets. Just look at how they see debt. To the accumulator, debt is the enemy. It's a thief in the night. But to the operator, the right kind of debt isn't chains. It's a sword. It's a tool to get you where you're going way, way faster. So do you have to pick a side? Is it just patience versus power? Well, what's so cool is there might be a third way, a way to blend the best of both. And this brings us to our cowboy, Tom Webster, who pulled off one of the slickest financial moves I have ever heard of. Okay, you have got to see this. It is absolutely brilliant. So first, the purchase. Tom buys 50 grand of what everyone thinks is worthless debt from local ranchers for just $500. But here's his secret weapon. He knows something nobody else does. He knows exactly where the new railroad is going to be built. So next, the offer. Instead of playing the tough guy and collecting the debt, he offers them a deal. Work off what you owe by making improvements to your own land. The same land, by the way, that the railroad is going to need. And then, the grand finale, the payoff. The railroad comes to town and Tom negotiates a massive $2 million deal for the ranchers. He gets his original $50K back plus a sweet 25% commission. See what he did? He didn't win by crushing them. He won by making a bigger pie for everyone. So, we've seen these different strategies, but it kind of begs a bigger question. Beyond just the how, what's the point of it all? What is the money actually for? And that brings us right back around to our secret millionaire janitor. So this guy, Ronald Reed, he worked as a gas station attendant and a janitor his whole life in Vermont. Lives super frugally. I mean, we're talking safety pins holding his coat together, chopping his own firewood well into his 90s. And the whole time, nobody, not a single person, knew he was sitting on a mountain of cash. And how did he get to $8 million? It wasn't some huge salary. Nope. It was decades of just saving what he could and patiently investing it in big, stable, blue-chip companies. That's it. He just lived below his means and let his money work for him year after year after year. But here's the kicker. The real story isn't how he made the money, it's what he did with it. When he passed away, almost all of it, that $8 million, went to the local hospital and the community library, the very places that had served him and his small town. His legacy wasn't the money itself, but the incredible good he did with it.
You know, this gets at a really powerful idea about character. Who are you when you think nobody important is watching? And there's this almost unbelievable story about a bus driver named Eugene Crawford that just illustrates this perfectly.
So you've got this arrogant investment banker, Theodore. He has to ride the bus one day, and he's just a total jerk about it. He hurls this insult at the driver. Save the pleasantries, just drive bus monkey. He had absolutely no idea the ripple effect that one moment would have. Okay, fast forward to the very next day. Theodore walks into the single most important meeting of his entire career. His company is about to go under. Everything, and I mean everything, is riding on getting a huge investment from some mysterious, wealthy benefactor. And so he's waiting, all nervous. The boardroom door swings open, and in walks the potential savior. And it's Eugene Crawford, the exact same bus driver he had humiliated less than 24 hours before.
Turns out, Eugene was the founder of a massive capital firm, and he explained that he drove that bus route for years just to study people, to see their true character when they thought no one was looking. And based on what he saw in Theodore, he denied the investment. The company folded. It's just a jaw-dropping reminder that how you treat people, all people, it always, always matters. So we've seen both sides, right? The patient, disciplined accumulator, and the bold, strategic operator. And it's pretty clear that the how you build your wealth, is really a choice. It's a choice between two very different strategies. But the real takeaway here, the thing I hope you remember from all these stories, isn't really about the how, it's about the who. See, wealth is just a tool. It's an amplifier. It just makes you more of who you already are. So the real question this explainer leaves us with is, what kind of character are you building along the way? Because in the end, that is the only thing that will determine your true legacy.